Hey, what's up? In this session, in this Accelerate group training. So lesson 3 is a big one. What we're going to do is we are going to unlink time from money. Now, here's what I mean by that. When you're in business or when you're working for somebody else, like generally your time is always like linked, to a dollar figure. So it's $25 an hour or $50 an hour or $250 an hour or whatever. Regardless of how much money you want to make, you end up having to put that much time into it. So what we're going to talk about today is a way to productize your knowledge, your experience, whether it might be productizing your service, but it's basically packaging that thing up so that you are you're unlocking time from money. And it is an exceptionally hard thing to do. But in order to become truly wealthy and truly the master of your own destiny, it's something you need to get into and understand and learn about and, ultimately implement for yourself. So what we're doing is we're putting together the thing that we are going to end up selling, which is the hardest part in this entire process. It's the hardest thing to do is to, create the thing that we want to sell. So if you remember in lesson 1, which was Monday, we talked about coming up with your idea, brainstorming your idea, researching your idea, putting some thought, putting some research, and figuring out what solution you were going to be solving, what problem you were going to be solving for your end user, your customer, your prospect, whatever. And then yesterday we talked about putting that idea through the offer framework. So the offer framework is it's a combination of your customer avatar, the person who you're going to be selling to, and what you're going to provide them to actually get the transformation that they seek in their life. Because at the end of the day, that's why they're paying you money, because they want some sort of transformation. It might it doesn't even have to. Doesn't have to be personal growth or emotional or whatever, but they want some kind of transformation in their life, or else they would not be investing time and effort and energy into you. So at the end of the day, that's as simple as it is. So what we did yesterday was we went through the offer framework and answered the very basic question: what needs to happen? What needs to be taught in order for our target market to make the transformation that they need to make, that they want to make? What do I need to answer? What do I need to come with? What do I need to coach them on or teach them or whatever, so that they make that jump, that leap, and they cross the chasm, to quote one of my favorite books. So that was where lesson 2 left off. Lesson 3 is today. And what we're going to talk about today is creating the thing you're going to be selling. So there are lots and lots and lots of ways to generate revenue online. That is for damn sure. So the biggest thing with making money online, making money digitally, is this idea. So just to kind of share a story, back in the old days, not the old days quite, but when I was in college and I was learning about the internet and blogging and trying to figure out this internet thing, I had one professor who used to, basically, being that I was making money online, it wasn't real money, it was fake money. And, so I was making fake money by selling advertising on websites and, basically using these digital things to generate real revenue. And the thing I loved about it was because it definitely didn't feel like fake money when you go and put your PayPal card into the debit machine and you withdraw cash. I mean, at that point, it's like I literally did nothing for this. I had a website, you know what I mean? So there are lots and lots and lots of ways of generating revenue online, and that's the beauty of revenue generation. There's the beauty of making money online. It's the beauty of unlinking time from money. So at the end of the day, that's really it's a very, very powerful thing. Now, when it comes to what it is we're going to be creating, so here I'm just going to switch the screen here. So stop with that screen. I'm going to share the big screen. So, all right. So now you're seeing my tablet. And here, what we're seeing is, go ahead and drop this in. And then I'm also going to make sure the screen is bigger. So, all right. Okay, so throw this up. All right, so when it comes to creating value, when it comes to unlocking, basically time equals money traditionally. What we want to do is we want to cut that relationship. We don't want time to equal money anymore. So what we're doing is we're creating and packaging services together. And this is kind of where we left off. So we have our product, our service, our idea. So we have an idea that was then taken through the offer framework, which was the avatar and the outline of the thing that we were going to be creating. Now, outside of this offer framework, we have an idea of who we're selling it to. So we are going to be selling it to Bob or Buddy or Brenda or whatever. So what does Brenda or Bob or Buddy need to understand in order to make the transformation that they are looking for? Well, that transformation is going to be brought about in a number of ways. So here we have our solutions. Now, our solutions are, we have our purely automated ways of generating, purely automated ways of basically having a product. So this is product based. It is 100% product based. And here we have things like ebooks. We have things like digital courses. We have things like audio programs. So these are our products. Now, each of these products has a different dollar figure associated with them. So if we're looking at pure product based stuff, I mean, an ebook is for the most part going to be between $9 and $37. Give and take. If you're selling an ebook on Kindle, it's going to be $9, $8, $2.99, whatever. If you're selling it on your website, it's going to be closer to $27, $37 or $4.95. It really depends. Your digital courses are going to be anywhere between like $67 on a ClickBank style digital course, all the way up to maybe $997. $997. Well, that's a lot of money. I mean, so is your knowledge that valuable? Does it make that big of a transformation in somebody's life that they're going to pay almost $1,000 for it? It could. Business development, it could. Stock trading, it could. Investing, basically anything that is money related. Of course, you can command some higher dollar figures for. And then you have your audio. So your audio kind of sits in the middle of these. So it might be 37, 267. Now, audio used to be really big a couple years ago. Not so much anymore because we have video products. Video is so easy to create. I'm streaming a video right now. So video is so easy to create that we don't really do too many audio products anymore. But what ends up happening is, these three components kind of get lumped together into a membership. So whether you actually charge continuity per month on this membership is up to you. It can be a one-time thing, but what's going to end up happening is you're going to lock all of this stuff behind a member's login. So it really needs to be, it's locked behind a login anyway. So it's going to be a membership site, whether you charge monthly for it. Right now, like monthly fees are not all that palatable because of the economic times that we're in, but a one-time fee, a larger one-time payment ends up being easier to sell, so these are purely product-based plays. Then on the other side of this scenario, you have your services. So your services are things like, actually, there's another, so we have software over here too. And product-based, you can think of an event as a service too, or as a product. So we'll pull that back in a minute. But for services, we have consulting, we have coaching, we have done for you services, we have done with you services. Yeah, that's about it. Consulting, coaching, done for you, done with you. And then there's a couple like different classes. So masterminds is a service. You have your organizer, who is basically, organizing the mastermind for you, leveraging relationships and stuff, and then going from there. So on the services side, this is where the higher dollar stuff comes into play. So like for consulting, you can conceivably pay $10,000 a month for consulting services, or $2,500 a month, or $5,000 a month, or $1,000 a month for consulting services. So, we're just going to put, there's not too many consulting services that are going to be underneath $1,000, per month, or especially if it's per project or pay per performance. Same with coaching. Like all of our coaching clients who come in, I'm like, you know what? In order for you to generate the kind of revenue that you want, you're going to need to be up above $1,000 and sell. And if we're selling from paid traffic, because it might cost $200 to actually get that coaching lead, and if you're at $1,000 per month, you're 5 times return on ad spend immediately first month, and everything after that is gravy. But we need to make sure that, from a revenue generation standpoint, that we're able to flip that money and then invest in more paid traffic. So coaching ends up being higher ticket. Now, done for you, we're looking at probably 4 to 5 figures, depending on what kind of done for you services. If it's internet marketing, you can think of legal fees, legal, CPA. The accountant, did my taxes last year, $4,500, legal fees, $7,500, so anything that is like literally done for you would fall into this category. It's service-based, done for you, 4 to 5 figures, for that. And then we have done with you, which is usually less than done for you, but we're still looking at, probably, 4 figures. And then mastermind, you can have some that are, $197 all the way up to, I have friends that have $75,000 a year masterminds, so the service side is where you end up generating a lot of revenue. But here's the kicker of this deal. So the kicker is this, oops. So right here, all of this is 100% time. So you are still making money from the time you are investing in this thing, in the service that you are creating. And then you have over here, actually, I'm going to switch this back to green. So over here, you have money. And here, you are generating money from things that don't require time. So when you look at this methodology, if you will note, like this side over here, are you going to get excited? Are you going to get excited about making, $9, $100, $50, are you going to get excited about those kind of numbers? Not when you're selling 1 or 2 or 3 a day, but when you're selling 1,000 a day, sure. When you're selling 50 a day, 100 a day, I mean, that's life-changing money, whereas on this side, you book one consulting project for $5,000 a month. Is it going to change your outlook on life? For a little bit, like you're going to be happy about that client for a little bit. You book 4 clients that are paying you $10,000 a month. You're making $40,000 a month, which is more than what most people make in a year. Is that exciting to you? Absolutely. But you're still trading time. So here, really what we need to do is we need to kind of look at this and say, how much time am I looking to, trade? Am I looking to, trade a bunch of time for services, or am I looking to make money from a product-based sense? Or am I looking to do a little bit of both, where I'm working with products and I am selling services on the front side of that? So here is what that looks like. So we call these, so there's, when you're doing products, so let me back up a minute. When you're creating your offers and recording your stuff, and putting together, how you're going to make money with this. Now, you can make an absolute fortune just playing on this side of the house. You can make a fortune playing on this side of the house, but what I have found is it's really easy to get sucked up in both sides. So even myself, it's like we're right here. I mean, literally doneforyou.com. We are right there, but what am I putting together right now? What is this? Well, this can be packaged as a product. It can be packaged as a digital course and sold as a digital course, which it will be down the road when I actually have a couple seconds to, put everything together. So by and large, you can play on both sides of the house. It's just important to realize what you're giving up, on both sides. So when you're putting your material together, you can take pieces from the product side and pieces from the service side and put together what I call, or what is called, I don't even know if I learned it from somebody, but this is assisted coaching or assisted consulting. So basically what that is, you can take things like your a digital course here, and then you can put consulting together, and then all of a sudden you have what might be called an accelerator. And that is a course plus coaching for, we're going to say $5,000. And what that allows you to do is you can leverage some of the time benefits of having a product, and you can leverage the revenue generation of having a service, because you're not teaching the same thing over and over and over again. What you're doing is you're leveraging the monotony of a digital course. So the digital course is actually teaching them, but then the coaching side, or the consulting side, is providing that 10% difference in education, that somebody else is going to be into. So that's the idea of this assisted coaching model, or combining things from the service side and the product side. Does that make sense? All right, cool. Now, let's see. In creating products, in creating offers, there's a couple of tools. So I want to switch gears and kind of take you through some of the tools that we use to create products, because the service side is pretty easy. Like the service side is, if you have a consulting model, or if you're a coach, then you have that down pat. What I've found is a lot of people don't necessarily, they're not real good at capturing their knowledge, at capturing their experience and their information. So what we're going to do is we are going to flip over into So let's see. All right. Now, I'm going to share a browser. All right. So this is a browser from earlier today. I did a live stream. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about capturing your knowledge, experience, expertise, and basically putting it together into something that you can sell again and again and again, so that you unlock that time equals money, and you can create the repeatable products that you can leverage in your business. So the first thing that I want to share with you is a piece. So this is, if there was one piece of software that I could not do without, it is a piece of software called ScreenFlow. ScreenFlow is made by a company called Telestream. So ScreenFlow is a Mac software. So you're going to want to make sure that ScreenFlow is up, that you have a Mac for this. If you don't have a Mac, then you're going to be looking at Camtasia. All right. So Camtasia is by a company called TechSmith. Now, Camtasia is both Mac and PC. I prefer ScreenFlow. I just prefer ScreenFlow. Camtasia is super nice too. And how it works is, I'm just going to kick it off here. So let me see if I can kind of open it and then, put it within the viewer. So all right. So then I'm going to do this. All right. So it's interesting. Recording video to record video. All right. So now you are seeing my screen. Let me make it a little bigger. And we have like a million windows in there now. And then I'm going to pull this up because I want to show you how Camtasia or ScreenFlow works. All right. So here we have a little widget. And the widget is, you can see my screen, but basically the widget is, it's letting me record stuff. So it's asking me what I want to set up. So I want to set up a new recording. It's going to record my desktop. I'm on an LED cinema display, Mac display. I am talking into I'm recording video from this pro webcam. And then actually I'm going to do this just so it doesn't mess with the webcam, and it might. I hope it doesn't. Actually, I'm just going to shut this off because I don't want to I don't want to screw this up. And then I'm going to record audio. So I'm going to record audio from the display. So it's registering a little bit of a mic bump there. And then I'm just going to hit record. So I don't want to like pull because I'm live streaming this. I don't actually want to do it. So I'm recording right now. So basically it is recording my screen. And you're also seeing my screen. So this is actually recording twice, if you want to think about a conundrum there. So here, where, blah, 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 talked about whatever. And, like we talked about all kinds of product stuff. And then, so I'm done, I'm talking. So generally what ends up happening is I go through a PowerPoint presentation, I record my screen, and I'm teaching this stuff live. And then what I do is after I'm all done, then I go up here and stop record. You can see I recorded for 38 seconds. And then it's going to open up into ScreenFlow. So let me just get rid of this. And then here, so all the way down at the bottom, down here, we have, I'm not sure, hopefully you can hear this, but this is me playing the video file. And the video file actually came in 2 tracks. So I have my audio track here, and then I have my video track here. And you can see I pulled it out away from the playhead. So now, so I have 2 tracks. I have the audio and the video. I can and watch when I play head, and I'm just going to hit play.
Recording right now. So basically, it is recording my screen, and you're also seeing my screen. So this is actually recording twice.
Now, and I went through this.
Product stuff, and then so I'm done. I'm talking. So generally, what ends up.
Now, so I recorded my screen, recorded my audio. Now, the beautiful thing is I get to do this. So let's say I didn't like this section. So I can just, I select both the audio and the video track. I right click and I can split clips. So when I split clips, now I have two tracks and so we have a blank space in the middle. I can put those tracks back together and I can split the clip. So I'm just going to split the clip back here just so we know that it's, gone. So I am going to split the clips here. I'm going to delete that middle section. So I just hit the delete key and I put these clips back together. So watch this.
I talked about whatever, and I'm
boom. So I can also do this. I can make this screen way bigger. So we can just look at what is on the iPad view.
Blah, blah, blah. I talked about whatever, and I'm teaching this stuff live. And then
so that is literally as easy as it is to record. Now, ideally, we're recording the PowerPoint presentation. We're recording something educational that isn't me freaking, screwing off on an iPad. But then what we do is we go up. We can save this. Of course, we should probably save it. So I'm just going to save it on my desktop. This is going to be just a ScreenFlow demo. And then we're going to export this guy as an MP4 file. So we're going to export it. It's going to just zip right through because it's, a super small file. Now we're going to open it up. So we're going to go to the desktop, open it up. See, now I have a video file that is my recording. So we're going to go ahead and just play this real quick. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. So watch.
Recording right now. So basically, it is recording my screen, and you're also seeing my screen. So this is actually recording twice, if you want to think about a conundrum there. So here, where, blah, 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 I talked about whatever, and I'm teaching this stuff live.
So that video file can now be uploaded to wherever you want in order to fulfill your training, to fulfill your course. So let me just switch my screen back. I'm going to share the browser again. So we're going to share this guy. Now, in terms of delivering this content is the next piece of the puzzle. We recorded the video, so now we need to deliver it to people when they buy it. And there's all kinds of different ways of doing this. This is a software deal. So one of my favorites is Kajabi.com. I love these guys. I mean, Kajabi is a great piece of software and it works incredibly well, for basically anything you're building, so Kajabi, beautiful piece of software, works really, really well. Another one, Teachable. Another incredible piece of software. It has some sales page functionality, some website functionality, but you can create entire courses in Teachable as well. So those are two options, probably the two options that we see the most, aside from just literally building it and hosting it ourselves. So we use a plugin a lot of times called Wishlist Member, which is a WordPress plugin, and it allows you to create membership sites that are create membership sites inside WordPress. So you're not paying it monthly every month, and you own all the data. So even if it's yours, it's sitting on your website, in your dashboard, all of that stuff. So ends up working out really well that way. So no matter what, no matter how you want to package your material, how you want to serve up your material, teach your material, you're probably going to end up putting it in, locking it behind some sort of a membership site like this. It's really just important to realize that you have a couple different pieces of material, that you're going to end up using. So, at the end of the day, if at the end of the day, capturing your information is the most important thing when it comes to putting these together. I actually see hopefully this is recording, because I see my video feed paused, I think probably because I pulled it into ScreenFlow. So that's interesting. So by and large, thank you so much for joining me for lesson number 3. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about sales assets. We're going to talk about sales copy, email copy, webinar copy, which is things you're going to need in order to sell this course, to sell your courses. And we're going to talk about calls to action. More importantly, in a couple days, I'm going to, start setting up calls so that we can, so I can give you some advice on digitizing your product, and digitizing your product and helping you create offers and sell those offers online. So just look for that in the next couple days. And with that, I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me for today's presentation. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about, like I said, content and sales assets, and we'll go from there. All right. Thanks.